Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Tech with Obed here. And I just wanted to gloss over this article from Fierce Wireless. I'm talking about Verizon in their analyst day last week, where they spoke at the Morgan Stanley conference. So what I wanted to talk about in this video is the home internet competition and why this is so important for Verizon and T-Mobile in particular, and how the cable companies actually play a role into how this all will kind of factor out going forward. So yesterday, I see something pretty interesting on Twitter. Comcast was presenting yesterday, and they didn't give any guidance or anything towards cable subscribers, home internet. Um, we you don't really usually hear them guide in terms of capex and stuff like that, but nothing in particular from Comcast yesterday, and that's why their stock kind of dipped after the analyst day. So that kind of told me they might be guiding a little bit lower. They might be losing more customers, um, especially with home internet now being the main driver. Is technically what the industry is sort of seeing now, and this is having an impact. So, uh, and with the C band and the 2.5, I think it's going to force the cable companies to kind of go back to the drawing board and kind of rethink this out, because home internet is going to cut in their share. People are going to switch from this. So Verizon expects 4 to 5 million customers by the end of 2025. I think T-Mobile about maybe 6 to 8 million. So Verizon kind of highlighted that. They had an expectation to bring 150,000 customers in the first quarter of 2022, double what the carrier recorded in the fourth quarter. So they already target 30 million households along with T-Mobile, but the difference is, T-Mobile, they have a limit where, if the sector is full, then they're going to cut off access to the whole entire neighborhood. And with Verizon, they can allow as many people as they can, because Verizon is bringing the equipment to your house, literally. Like, it's going, like, the C-band or the millimeter wave panel is going to be usually on the light poles, usually outside on the neighborhood infrastructure. So that's usually where you're going to see some of the infrastructure coming from Verizon. And at some point, T-Mobile is going to just have to do that too, because home internet, they're going to get a lot of home internet customers, and the sector is not going to be able to handle all that home internet traffic. I can promise you that. From where I live, my neighborhood is pretty big. If T-Mobile brought that here, that's going to fill up pretty quickly. So we know that T-Mobile is just going to have to do that at some point going forward. Anything that Verizon is doing now, T-Mobile is just going to do eventually. So that's why Verizon was able to do more with less. It's just how they do things. So now. So let's see. So during the presentation last week, Chief Technology Officer Kyle Madley called out an end-to-end bandwidth with an intelligent edge network, completed fiber build, and additional spectrum and RAN. We've had the capacity to handle 1 million fixed wireless access to 4 to 5 million over time. He said, I feel very good about where we're at in terms of capacity. It's not a problem for us like it was 20 years ago when we had a limited amount of spectrum. Thanks to C-band's winnings plus CBRS and an arsenal of millimeter wave, Verizon now has swaths of 5G spectrum bands. It's deployed 60 megahertz of the C-band in major markets and will have 161 megahertz on average nationwide once the second tranche is ready in the 2023 timeframe. We have a lot of spectrum. We've cracked on the code on millimeter wave for the densest urban areas, which was always problem. What was the problem? And our code was really robust and getting more robust, Madley said. So Verizon is really densifying, and especially downtown. I see a lot of millimeter wave, a lot of C-RAN, and just Verizon just densifying, building, continue to build, continue to densify the network. I see that like the work Verizon is doing is real. I see it every single day. So and not only that, they're also building the fiber to the millimeter wave node too. They're doing that as well. So Verizon is really taking this serious, and I've never seen them move at a pace like this before in my entire lifetime covering this. So, and this is the efficiency forecast for C-band, and that is insane. So obviously 5G spectrum is just going to be more efficient than LTE. That's very obvious, but at some point, I think there's not going to be a need for LTE at some point because 5G is just going to be so good. It's going to be widespread that the fallback network LTE is just not going to be needed. So as you guys can kind of see here, the efficiency forecast is looking good. And Verizon is just going to keep doing what they've been doing so far, which is just building, densifying the network, and putting towers where it's needed and small cells where it's needed. So the consumer group CEO, Manon, I don't know how to pronounce that, Bradlady, had said that fixed wireless access allows Verizon to attract customers that weren't with the carrier before, and noting 30% of the fixed wireless access customers fall into that camp. So yeah, so when Verizon is bringing in them home internet customers, some of them are not with Verizon, some of them are probably with T-Mobile, AT&T, maybe prepaid, maybe some other carrier, some MVNO, and Verizon is technically going to try to convert them over to their postpaid plan. So that's the point that Verizon is kind of alluding to as I kind of read going down to here. Verizon is going to try to convert those customers, which is going to be more ARPA for the account. Average revenue per account is going to increase. So Verizon is chasing profitability, not unprofitability. I mean, they've noted that before. I mean, they're the most premium carrier, and they're just going to spend and nickel and dime their customers. So the strategy was working. I didn't think it would work up to this point. I'm like, hey, maybe this is the target. Unlike T-Mobile, I mean, T-Mobile is technically doing the same thing, but they're just not premium. So I'm not going to, doubt what Verizon is doing up to this point, because now, with everything I've seen, hey, it's been working. So, hey, why not go with the plan? So, you guys can go ahead and just read the rest of the article. I mean, some of the stuff is kind of repetition, the things we already know. So, very interesting article. So shout out to Belvin Fletcher for this article. So make sure you guys check this out. Read it for yourselves. Very good video. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. We out.